Ladies and gentlemen, do I have a banger for you today? It is Liubai on Camille. Welcome back to another playcast. Today we're going to be watching this 2000 LP Camille OTP in China versus a Mordekaiser. This is High Grandmaster Elo. So he's approaching that challenger range. And this matchup's kind of tricky. Mordekaiser is a very, very solid champion. But if you do have really good mechanics, it's the type of thing that you can abuse. It's a very simple character. Not the type of thing you actually often see in high elo, despite, with the exception of some certain counter picks. So people pick into Cassante all the time. Pretty good versus his ult. That's why they're picking into Cassante. I'm not 100% on the Camille versus Mordekaiser matchup. I would think, as we actually see a really good level up timer from Liubai on Camille, who's just showcasing the fundamentals of top lane and absolutely railing this guy. It shows you that even in Grandmaster, people still get level up timed. How ridiculous is that? Right, this is Chinese Grandmaster. We're approaching 1,000, 2,000. No, not 2,000. We're approaching like 800, 900 LP is what it'll be. Mordekaiser is a master player, to be fair. And Liubai already showcasing just how good his understanding of the mechanics of the matchup are. Taking E second as well instead of Q, starting with W. Wonder if he spams a little bit here. I'm always... he timed the E with last hit in the cannon, so it actually was a little bit weird on the animation there. 115 damage. Oh, 2 points in W. That is toxic. Did you take a cheater or what? That's really interesting. So Liubai's actually put 2 points in W here to poke out the Mordekaiser a little bit more. I think he understands that he might not necessarily. That's really bad. Okay, we actually managed to live. That Mordekaiser's E was excellent. That was an excellent E from Mordekaiser. We're going to hit level 4 very soon. Another W lands. A little bit concerned on the mana front here, but we do have Q and Ignite on this. Ooh, did we miss XP? We definitely missed XP. I think we might have missed one range minion XP when we went for the ward. Because we should be level 4 off this wave. I think you're going to see Mordekaiser's level 4 off the wave here, yeah. That's pretty bad. We would like to all-in him with our Ignite advantage here, but instead we're going to have to take a reset while the wave is coming in towards us. Use our TP. I'm not sure if we're in time here. I think Liubai has had the same understanding, and Mordekaiser's going to shove this wave before we get the TP off. Going to hit level 4 off the minion here. We have auto-Q Ignite. Are we going to utilize the Ignite here? Mordekaiser does have Flash. We force out the Flash. Death's Grasp comes through, and the Q is really good from Mordekaiser. At least he trades back. But now the wave is frozen, and Mordekaiser has absolutely no hope that bush is warded as well. So Nidalee is free to gank if she was watching closely there. We do have E. Ignite utilized, Q utilized, and the E onto the wall. Hookshot finishes off the Mordekaiser, and Nidalee takes down the kill. Are we just going to reset here, or do we think this wave's going to crash? Liubai has made the decision that the wave is not going to crash. He's just going to take a reset. It's something you can do as well. Don't always have to shove the wave after you get a solo kill like this, okay? It's something, particularly on Camille. Camille is a champion that has extremely poor pushing power. So you're going to see he's actually opting for Tiamat first. That's what the double longsword is. And the reason for that is literally just because Camille's wave clear is so shocking. I think this 2 points in W tech is really smart. Does a lot of damage. 150 on it. Of course, ever since they buffed Camille's movement speed, she's been a bit of a monster. Auto Q there. And we do E out of the trade. That's really interesting. It's a very beneficial trade for us. It's about 400 damage to his 300. Well, he does heal it up. Interestingly played. You can obviously see the damage that our Q does when we don't have points in it is a lot less. Like, it really did not hurt that guy. Double longsword also makes it a lot easier to CS here. As we do land the hookshot on top of Mordekaiser. Going to go for the auto Q as well. Land the W. Miss the Death's Grasp on the side of Mordekaiser, who is going to land the Q. And he's going to end up winning the trade pretty heavily. This is an issue because he's going to hit his level 6 timer soon, so we're in a bit of trouble. But again, he's utilized his ward aggressively to try and get a bush. He's not aware of the Nidalee being here. He's not 6 yet, so we're just going to be able to space him with the movement speed. Another Q from Mordekaiser, but it's not going to be enough, unfortunately, for this Mord. He did play it okay, but he got a little bit greedy. And without that vision, you cannot play that aggressively. Trying to get the crash off. But Liubai is a little bit too good there. Understands that his Nidalee's pathing towards topside, understands what he has to do is take an aggressive trade. And now I'm interested to see how this matchup functions post-6. Mordekaiser's level 6 spike, obviously, if you're anywhere in the game, if you've played any role, you understand how powerful Mordekaiser's level 6 is. It's up there with Renekton, it's up there with Cassante. It is one of the best ultimates in top lane for solo killing your opponent. I'm going to sip my coffee while we watch that wave crash. Interesting, he's rushing Triforce. Okay, I like this as well. So this is the sign of someone who has very good wave management and is completely convinced that they're going to be able to win the lane. So you go Tiamat if you're in a situation where you think you're not going to have priority over the wave and you want to be able to get into maybe proxy scenarios. You want to be able to get the wave in every time that you're given a second to breathe. You want to be able to get the wave in. That's when you go Tiamat. because it really helps you in those losing scenarios to be able to set up advantageous wave sets that are always pushing back towards you, to be able to break opponents' freezes. It's all that type of thing you want. But instead, he's opted for... See a little top right corner. Thank you, Liubai's stream. He's opted for... Actually, Death Grasp lands here, and Mordekaiser does have ult. I think we have to be very careful here. I don't know the interaction between Camille's ult and Mordekaiser ult. So if she ults while Mordekaiser is in the ult animation, I don't know if she goes unstoppable. I know it's a micro silence. So the worst case scenario for the Camille is that it cancels the ult but instantly resets the cooldown. What I think is most likely is it'll cancel Mordekaiser ult, and then the cooldown will be going like a 10-second timer. I think that could be the interaction. I know that's how it works with set ult. If you ever watch a good set versus a good Mordekaiser, by the way, that is such an interesting dance. Like the way they dance around each other. I just said dance and dance. I don't know which one sounds better. This is something like, as an Australian, we don't really have like a clear defined, because like posh Australians, they say dance, but like dance as well is something we say. And I feel like in the US they say dance, and in Britain they say dance. So it's like, what do you even say at this point? I think we just say both. I think we do what I just did. That's the Australian way. It could just be the Matt way though. You know what I mean? So Liubai's just going to shove the wave here. We do catch the Rengar in a little bit of trouble here. Nidalee's there as well. Mordekaiser is going to catch us out, though. The Q is really good. Flash from the Rengar. He does have the root, and I think we're going to go down here. Mordekaiser does have the Death Realm if he chooses to so use it. Looks like Rengar might actually be in a bit of trouble. We do have Q coming back up. We're going to walk out here. Hookshot in 2 seconds. Big heal from the Nidalee. We are going to eat over the wall. Meanwhile, Jace manages to one-shot the Zeri. Hookshot utilized on the Zeri to finish her off. Mordekaiser in the backline trying to take out that Nidalee, but unfortunately, he's not going to be able to do it. Big W from the Camille to slow him. Jace using this Prestige T1 skin. Absolutely styling on everybody. I do not know how we've managed to stay alive in this scenario. That is absolutely ridiculous from Liubai just then. God, I'm so dead in that scenario. After that Rengar lands a Z, I'm pretty sure I'm already looking at the shop. I'm starting to browse. I'm like, oh, well, my bad, guys. Ops for the Sheen. Goodbye. I think Hearthbound Axe is a very fake item. I think everybody who plays top lane at a sort of high level thinks that to an extent. Big sip of the coffee, guys. And this is like, it is like 1 p.m. for me. This is my morning. This is my morning. Because uni finished, so we're on gamer hours now, guys. We're on that 3 a.m. shit, you know what I mean? Anyway, also Arcane came out, and that was bad for the sleep schedule. I was like, what I'm gonna do is I was gonna like watch one episode, and then we watched one episode, and I stopped because the first episode was like, it was good, but it wasn't like more-ish. And then I was like, okay, 2 nights from now I'm gonna watch the second episode, and then 2 nights from now I'm gonna watch the third episode, and it's already gonna be Saturday, and I'll be able to watch more. And what happened was 1 night from then I watched the second episode, then immediately watched the third episode. Now I have 4 days to wait, and it's like fuck. But the show is so good, please watch it. It's amazing. See, good W from... Man, the spacing on this guy is ridiculous. And the second Mordekaiser uses Q, we're just going to go in. We understand this trade is very winning for us. We are playing Grasp instead of Conqueror. Big Q from Mordekaiser does sort of equalize what was otherwise a very losing scenario for this man. Hookshot is back up. I'm very interested as the cooldown punishment of Liubai actually manages to fuck up the spacing, gets a little bit outspaced by this Master player. And no shade on Mordekaiser. Master is an insanely high rank, man. That is like the pinnacle of League of Legends. If you're a Master player, you know what you're doing. You know what you're doing. You hear a lot of people flaming low Master players. They're like, oh, they're shit. These are like fucking Challenger for life players, all right? And those people, they're not human. They're not human. Also, Hums is not a human. I don't understand how that guy's brain isn't Challenger. Like, that doesn't make sense to me. I think he needs to be studied. Like, how can you be so good at League of Legends, but also be like the type? I don't want to like not to throw shade. I don't want to speculate on IQs here. But you know, maybe we get back to the lane here. Maybe we get back to the lane. Let's get back to the lane. Let's check out what's going on here. We're gonna go for another W, I think. Are we just Wing on cooldown on this lane? Like every time we think we can land it? Looks like it to a little bit. Not doing as much damage as it was in level 1. Actually really good from the Mordekaiser there. That shield timing was excellent. Gets a shield bash as well. 50 gold for our Triforce. And then when we get the Triforce, we're going to come back. We're going to kill this guy off. You see Liubai was not interested in trading there. Just wants to wait for his item spike. A lot of time in top lane, it's about knowing when you want to fight. Right? So a lot of, like, Liubai probably could fight right now. And it might be winning if he plays it insanely well. Like, he could just hookshot on this guy. See what happens. Really good hookshot as well. Great timing on the Mordekaiser E. Death Grasp. Bit useless. Versus Camille, she holds her E like that. You see Liubai is being extremely patient because he doesn't want to flip a fight like that, right? Mordekaiser has the chance to win if he outplays him. But the second we get Triforce, the second we get maybe Boots and some MR, I think Mordecai... I think Triforce all we need, and this guy's in trouble. I'm going to turn on my aircon. Getting a little bit hot in the room. Instant TP on the wave, and that's what I'm talking about. Now I think we're just going to try scrap with him. We're up Giga items. Just going to hookshot on top of him, even if he ults us here. Look at that Q timing on the Death Grasp. Managed to use it to get some damage to the Unstoppable. Don't quite dodge out of the Mordekaiser's Q. Oh, use ult to cancel Mordekaiser ult, and there we go. That is Liubai on Camille, ladies and gentlemen. Plays that to perfection. Precision is the deadliest weapon, as it turns out. When you play Camille that well, man. Exactly what I thought was going to happen. Second he comes back with that Triforce spike, Mordekaiser overstays for half a second and is instantly punished with the insane engage range that Camille has. Now he's going to lose his entire fucking tower. Welcome to top lane, ladies and gentlemen. Nice E as well. Sipping my coffee so I didn't quite see what happened. Take 3 plates, 1k gold in the bank, and I wonder what boots we're going to opt for this game. Have not seen what their mid laner is. They have a Rengar, obviously. And having armor boots is really nice versus a Rengar, particularly if they're fed. But I do think there comes a point where we do need to itemize for this Mordekaiser to a little bit, because it is important that, like, for the state of the game, it's important that we're able to beat him in the side. Camille's a champion that she needs to be unlocked. Nice spacing again, man. This guy's spacing is so crispy. It's crazy. She's a champion that needs to be unlocked by having presence in the side lane. Like, she's someone who loses in sides. The champion really sucks. It's a stinky champion if she can't pressure sides. So you might think you have to win lane on her, but that's where the scaling comes in. You often can go even in lane and still have presence in sides. But I think Mordekaiser is a champion that is very good, specifically at neutralizing strong side laners. Played a game of Mordekaiser, like Renekton versus Mordekaiser recently. And as you see, we're just going to hookshot on top of him here. Are we going to go for that Q2? No. Just take the short trade. Happy to take short trades here because of our Sheen proc. Fuck up the spacing slightly. Mordekaiser's going to take a Q to the face, though. He does have that Death Realm, and we don't have our Hextech Ultimatum, so... You are going to Brazil. Alright, I'm going to farm up the wave here. Yeah, I was going to say, I was playing a game of Renekton into Mordekaiser. Really good spacing again, man. Every time this guy does anything, I'm just yapping about how good his spacing is. But it is ridiculously good. Control of the bush there. Death Realm comes out and Mordekaiser flashing on top of us. Seems like a one-way ticket for the Mordekaiser. I don't know if he wants this Brazil flight. And see you later, buddy. That Mordekaiser just got the mid-beast Brazil trip experience. Like, you know, not to make light of it. What is it? Quite an upsetting situation for that lovely man. Anyway, all good. Guys, don't go outside if you go to Brazil and you're an Australian tourist. It's a bad idea. That's a bad idea. Or at least don't get your phone out in public. That's the bad idea there. Now this is gonna be a very interesting game because obviously the game is fairly even. All right, 14 to 12, but we are a massive, impactful tool on our team. We have Jace as well, but he's quite hard to play. Like, the team is actually insanely hard to play. With the exception of Janna, I think all 4 champions on the blue side here, a lot of skill expression behind them. People argue about Kai'Sa. I think Kai'Sa's an incredibly skillful ADC. I think if you watch Elk play Kai'Sa, I think you understand. Obviously, you can face her on her a little bit. Bang! Big Q again. Man. It's really interesting how he switches up his tempo with the hookshots throughout the laning phase. Meanwhile, Rengar is here. It looks like it's going to be a 1v2 angle. Are we going to try and hookshot to get out here? I think we're just going to go down. Rengar with a massive amount of damage. Walks over to us, lands the root, and then one-shots us with that Profane Hydra combo. Half and half magic and physical damage. Mordekaiser doing his bit as well. And we greed for the tower, and we've just left this guy back in the game. Mordekaiser gets a kill, and this is a very, very troubling spot. I'm going to skip out of the death timer here because you guys don't have to watch Liubai eat his food, I think is what he was doing. Doesn't seem too bothered, this guy, does he? TP in 3 seconds. Mordekaiser's not actually going to get too much here. Can't kill the tower, can't do anything. Still looking at his food, this guy. Look at him. Wonder what he's having. What do you reckon? Like, he's eating it like it's like noodles or something, you know what I mean? You gotta, like, lean over it. He wasn't sucking it up, though. Maybe that's just me, though. Maybe you don't eat noodles by sucking it up. Maybe you just, like, have a little gobble. I really like noodles, guys. That's a little Matt take. A little Tweet TV certified classic is what that is. Gonna shove the wave in here. And I wonder how we're gonna open up the map. See Rengar on the bot side of the map. We're gonna pan our camera immediately. Obviously, Liubai is looking at the map as well. Mordekaiser, again, not able to contest us in the side lane, I don't believe. So we're just gonna shove this wave in, and I think maybe because we see the Rengar on the bot side of the map, we're not able to get a kill. We're not able to get tower plates. I think the next thing we want to do is get his jungle camps. You hear Alois talk about this a lot. Gonna go for a really good Q trade. Interesting. I think he's out of vision on that hook shot. Rengar has full cleared, though. As you'd expect. One of the things you hear Alois talk about a lot, it's one of the top lane fundamentals, is what do you do once you get a lead like this? And the answer is kill Aphelios, I guess. Force his flash out. Nidalee's here as well, but unfortunately the Severum ult is not going to be quite enough to save that guy. And that's not what I was looking for, but yeah, I guess it works. Alois has like a sort of couple-step process as to what you should do in top lane once you get a lead like this. The first thing you should look for, if you can, is to kill. If you can get a kill on your lane opponent, if you can get a kill on the enemy jungler, if you can get a kill on the enemy ADC, as we just saw, you should go for that. Second thing you should look for is if you can kill the top lane tier 2 tower, all right, to accelerate yourself, you should be going for that. And by the way, when I say kill, I don't mean like, you don't want to be flipping, all right? It is literally like if enemy Mordekaiser is like stepped up, halfway up the lane, and enemy jungler is bot, and you see enemy mid laner, that's when you go for the kill, right? If the kill is not going to cost you anything, go kill first. Then you go for tier 2 tower. If you get in the tier 2 tower for free, you take that, all right? If the enemy is fighting objectives, something like that, that's when you take that. And if you can't do that, if you can't get a kill on the enemy ADC or the enemy Mordekaiser, you can't take the tower, the next thing you want to be doing is fucking with the enemy jungler. So you want to be getting good quality wards. Often you want to buy control wards. You see a lot of these players, they buy sweepers to try and clear the enemy jungle's vision. We do have a TP coming in here. I think we're going to shut up on my yapping a little bit. This could be a fight going down. I want to see Jace's QE technology here. We are just going to hookshot over the wall like a little bit of a psychopath. All four of them are sitting there waiting for us, but unfortunately for them, they do not have the balls to be able to turn this. Hookshot back up in 3 seconds. I think Taric is going to be our victim. We see all 5 enemy players huddling under the bot tier 2. Nidalee not going to go for any Tarzan-esque. Tarzan is in the Weibo Gaming jungler, by the way, the insane Nidalee Bluetooth spear guy, not the arsehole. Anyway, Tarzan-esque spears, which is respectable. Rengar, meanwhile, has just full one-shot our ADC. That's some ADC lifestyle right there. I'm gonna get the whip mid-wave. Oh, fuck! Oh, shit! Oh! That was my Kai'Sa impression. There we go. That's what happened to her. Rengar's a very fun champion to play against, I think. Alright. Now I wonder if we're just going to hit the tower. This is the type of thing where you can get very bored as a top laner, right? You can just like walk up and like Q2 the tower and then E out. Oh, we take aggro from the Ravenous Hydra. We are just going to heal it back up though. Looks like Rengar might be inting. We don't have TP, so this is when you just like cross your fingers and pray, right? If your team does this, it's like, well, I think we win, right? It looks like it's going okay for us, but this game could actually get quite hard depending on the outcome of this. Looks like Janna is going to be able to get away. Kai'Sa's in base. Looks like it went for a 2 for 2. Which is okay. We do have a lot of pressure on this bot side here. If this wave crashes, I think the tower's going to die. I don't think Mordekaiser has enough threat to be able to stop us from just hitting the tower if the wave crashes. Another insane Q. Good spacing. Wow, that was disgusting. Holy shit. Sorry, guys. Good spacing out of the Death Grasp, what I was going to say. And we do finally land one auto attack on the tower. We are just going to E aggressively at the Mordekaiser, and it's actually really cool what I've done there. It's just going to cut back and play again. A little bit of a bug on your end. Sorry, on my end. Not to flame you guys. Yeah, losers. Fucking your PC sucks. No, it's not. It's my end, guys. It's the video. Gonna take the crap here. We did see Rengar walk into his bot side jungle. I don't remember if we took Gromp or not. Uh-oh, Rengar. Uh-oh, Rengar. I think Mordekaiser's here as well, but I don't think Rengar wants this fight. We do have the Hextech ultimatum, but Zeri's here as well. We don't have Q2. Wow, we just full one-shot him, chopped him up with the legs. Zeri's gonna try and chase us down, forced to use Flash to be able to finish off that kill. Meanwhile, Jace has gotten to the spot where Rengar was just moments ago. Gonna land the Q auto. QW. Flash as well. No, Zeri doesn't have Flash or E. Finish him off with the Q. Man, Chinese Jaces. They know what they're doing. Little bit of Jace technology. Why did he start that trade in gun form rather than in hammer form? The reason you want to start the trade in gun form, you can go Q auto. The auto will land before the Q hits if you don't empower the Q, which will lead to the armor pen on the Q. Then you switch into hammer form, Q on top of them with the armor pen. The slow from the slow from the hammer form guarantees your next auto attack. And it's just the best one-shot combo you possibly can do. Ideally, you'd want a QE, though. You want to auto QE, is what you'd want to do on Jace. Obviously, that guy didn't have E. But if he did have E, that Zeri would have been sent to the Shadow Realm, even more so than she already was. Probably wouldn't have had to use Flash. Meanwhile, it looks like Herald has been summoned in the mid lane. Liubai opting to just walk bot. This is a respectable gameplay pattern. This is what I mean. When I was talking about how if Camille doesn't have agency in the sides, it's pretty miserable to play. Imagine if you couldn't walk up. Imagine if Mordekaiser was stronger than you, so you couldn't walk up inside. Your only option is really just to like scrounge for scraps around the map. You know what I mean? It's pretty brutal. Can often feel like this if they have a Nocturne as well. They have a fed jungler, a fed Twisted Fate. Can be very punishing to play against as someone who wants to walk up in the side lane. Camille is an excellent side laner as well because she's very slippery, so she can be a little bit over position and still manage to get out, which is an important factor. Sweeper popped. This is what I mean. People opt in ranked, you'll see... Sorry, not in ranked. In professional play, you'll see a lot of top laners go for blue trinket. So we are just going to try and one-shot this guy. Forcing his flash. Going to take top tower finally. Really good rotation from the Jace. Understand that Mordekaiser wants a solo match. Meanwhile, I think Aphelios has stepped up a little bit too far here. I don't think he has the respect he needs for this Camille. Does manage to flash out of the hookshot there. Liubai a little bit outplayed. Do we have Death Stance? No. I was wondering why we're bleeding out so much. We can E on top of the Aphelios without E cooldown. Sorry, without shield cooldown back, but we're not going to go for it. I think we did misplay that. I don't think Aphelios can walk up there. I think that's insane. We did force his flash. He did use his ult. And he did almost one-shot us, to be fair. Death Stance coming through soon. I don't remember what I was talking about before, so we're just going to move on. It's probably very interesting. So you guys missed out. Top wave. Looks like enemy team is calling a Baron. I think this is a little bit risky. Maybe it's because they know Liubai just reset. I don't know if they're still on it or not. They're not. Rengar's opted to go for the Janna instead. Pretended to start the Baron, then used that opportunity to find his target. Gets his mark, and I think they're going to go straight back to this Baron. Aphelios no flash now. Liubai really wants this. If you can get this this scuttle, it's actually a really big deal. Does manage to take it. Aphelios has 10,000 chakrams spinning around his body right now. Meanwhile, Kai'Sa's entered. I think this is actually going to be very tough for us. We're 2 members down. Liubai's going to have to do a lot of work if he wants to stop this Baron from going through. Rengar is quite low. Of course, it is 2 ADCs, and then jungler is really squishy. This is a type of play we can make, but I think it's very, very difficult. I don't know if we should go in. Is Liubai going to go for this? I think he is actually. Nidalee manages to get the steal with the smite. Massive Jace QE. One-shots almost everybody. Mordekaiser Death Realm takes Nidalee away from the fight. Not able to finish off any of the stragglers. But now it's up to Jason Kai'Sa. Sorry, Jason Janna. Jason Janna. I wonder if they're a couple. Low-key. That'd be cool. Arcane Season 3, guys. Anyway, it's up to Jason Janna to be able to finish him off, but then we're not quite. Enemy team gonna get the... Not gonna get the Baron. Sorry, they got stolen. Gonna get nothing except for 2 kills there. I think we're happy to be blue side right now. Nidalee with an insane clutch play to save the game. Hextech Drake is going to go down as well because the enemy team's all on reset. This is quite an insanely smart timing from Jace. Kai'Sa's there as well to finish it off. Jace's name is Trickery. Not the worst name I've ever seen in my life. Aphelios just face checked a bush. I think he's going to get punished immediately. The killer instinct comes through from Kai'Sa. Jace in the backline using that Hextech Hammer to try and do some damage. Meanwhile, Taric with the flashy TP comes through from Liubai, and it looks like it's up to him to get something done here. Mordekaiser mistimes the Q, but the stun from Taric is really big. Jace manages to take out the kill. Looks like Zeri's next on the chopping block. We're going to get that Q2, finish her off, and it's up to the Rengar and the Mordekaiser to take down the raid boss that is Liubai, and they're successful in their journey. My goodness. My goodness gracious, ladies and gentlemen. That is quite a team fight. We do get the Hextech Drake at the end of the day, though, so that's what we're looking for. That is what we're looking for. Gonna take a deep breath after that one. Alright. Take a look at the game set here. We do have Baron, but I think we lost all of our Barons in that last fight. Janna might be the only one with it left. In terms of the gold, I think we're quite even. The only deciding factor is that we have one more outer tower. We did get that gold injection of the Baron. But I'm not sure how the shutdown scenario looks. My bet is that the game is probably at a 1k gold deficit either way. So it's going to come down to who executes the team fights better in the late game. This is going to be an absolutely insane game of League of Legends. This is why we love high elo Chinese solo queue, man. It's so interesting. It's so interesting because they perma-fight, right? They're extremely aggressive. You can see this. They're always making plays. With the way the Rengar's been pathing this game, he's just trying to take everything. You saw that Aphelios just full face checked, right? People are psychos in this high-elo China. But also, they have the mechanics to back it up. These fights are really well played. I don't know if you, like... If you look individually at any of the players, like if you watch the Taric, how the Taric played that last fight, his locket usage was really good. His usage of the E-Flash was insane. His ultimate was ridiculously good. You can say the same for the Jace, right? His QE, every single player was doing their bit. It's going to come down to a really, really, really clutch team fight. Whichever team is able to win the team fight is going to be the team that takes the game. No game breaker has happened yet. I want to see how much impact Liubai can have on the outcome of this. Mordekaiser does land a good Death Grasp into the Q. Aphelios has whiffed his ult again. Matthew Robertson, is that you? Not to dox you. Kai'Sa, Killer Instinct comes in. Looks like we're going in at the same time as the Taric ult happens. Mordekaiser ults himself out of it, but I think we're just going to get absolutely cooked in here. The Death Realm is exactly that. Down we go. Nidalee in the backline manages to one-shot the Taric and almost gets the Zeri. It's up to the Jace and the Nidalee to finish off everyone. It's 3 people versus 1 man who invented sex tech, and I don't think it's going to go very well for that spicy individual. Not a game breaker though, right? 2 for 4, but not a game breaker. I think the Taric ultimate was clutch there. Nidalee's gameplay, I've never seen a Nidalee one-shot everyone. That was crazy. But this is an issue, right? We're at the point now where Mordekaiser R-buttons us, and we don't win. And that is bad. If we get R-buttoned by Mordekaiser and we lose, he's 2 levels down, mind you. He's 2 levels down, lost lane so hard. He's like down so much fucking gold. But it doesn't even matter because he's playing Mordekaiser, right? He R's us, he steals our stats. Champion is ridiculously good in 1v1. This is the type of time where we need to have a lot of faith in our teammates to be able to carry this one. This is not the type of thing that we can do ourselves anymore. Because every time that we try to find an angle in the team fight, unless we find an angle away from the Mordekaiser, we're going to get put in the death realm, and our life is going to be ended. Our soul's going to be sucked, he's going to get our stats, and we're going to be in a bit of trouble. We can itemize against it as well. So I wonder if, like, the options for Liubai right now, in terms of your item, you can look for more tank stats in either direction. I think getting more armor is probably a little bit psychopathic. I think we need some MR. I think realistically, the best option for you is an MR item. Meanwhile, Rengar actually looking to ambush the Janna here. If he gets half a second on top of that Janna, she is going to be deleted. I was going to say, I think the best option is Moore, but Moore does not feel good to buy. Moore is like a really, really bad feeling item nowadays because the shield is so little. The shield is like tiny little baby shield. And the stats on it are not very good. Aphelios, I think, has walked up a little bit too far. We fucked up a hookshot, though. A rare Liubai mechanical misstep. And that Aphelios is not going to be punished for his sins. I think with a Hextech ultimatum, he would have just gone down immediately. Minion bug. Ah. LPL minion, guys. LPL minion is immortal. You can't kill it. Meanwhile, this is actually a really good macro decision, right? Enemy team trying to set up for Drake. Why don't we shove the mid wave and threaten their base? They have to walk in behind us. If the only problem is if they start the team fight before Liubai is ready, before this wave is here, they can proxy the wave as well. Looks like we're actually a little bit trapped on the enemy side of the map. We're looking for a Nidalee Spear. We do land big damage on the Mordekaiser and we force out his ult. Meanwhile, we're cutting out his abilities. And this is exactly how you want to play in the Death Realm. Dodging his Q as well. Finishing him off. And this is the insane start to the team fight we're looking for. Taric ult already used. Flash in from the Taric trying to get the stun off. Rengar gonna go down to the killer instinct. Kai'Sa versus Aphelios in the backline. Big Janna Q to finish off the rest of the Red Tide team. And that fight is extremely blue side favored. Started with an terrible death round from Mordekaiser after he's already been poked out. Liubai spaced him like an absolute god inside of that. Followed up by a Taric ult is a little bit preemptive into a killer instinct to finish off the entire enemy team. And Jason Kai'Sa, only ones left standing in the entire game. Bit of a bloodbath so far. I don't think this is the game ender though. I don't think you can end the game off this. You might be able to. They're going to go for it. And it looks like they are. Just judging off the fact that the streams come up, I didn't think you could, but I guess the damage is actually there. Taric's up, Mordekaiser's up as well. We're going to flash away. JCW used to try and kill the Nexus. Just get it down, guys. Hit the Nexus, not the Vlad. And finally, the red Nexus is going to explode. Ladies and gentlemen, Liubai on Camille. What an amazing game that was. Thank you for watching. I really enjoyed that. That was really fun. That was really fun. All right, see you later. See you next time. GG. Bye.